Peace and blessings, everybody. It's your boy Trill back with another video. This one is going to be on everything is part of yoga in life. So that's a whole nother conversation. This is going to be the basics of pretty much pranayama or controlled breathing, and partly with some meditation. Alright, so with this, I want everybody to know that when people tell you to clear your mind, that's damn near impossible to do. Calming down the mind is very much possible because we know that when RP Kobe or Jordan or LeBron or Serena or any athlete could possibly tell you, even an amateur athlete can tell you that they can slow down their thinking if they're not too panicky on what's going on outside. If they focus on what's going on in their head and the mission and the task at hand, they're going to handle their business regardless of what's going on. But that comes with being truly focused on one task. So the things that I've learned in my meditation journey and just this yoga journey starting in 2015 was breathing. Now, when I was reading the book that I first read, I'll put the link below, Yoga for Athletes. My issue was I was never conscious of my breathing. So I never, we always be short of breath or just right there, but I wouldn't know that I'm just actually inhaling, exhaling. It's something that it sounds very immature or elementary, more say. It would sound elementary, but that's something that a lot of us don't do or take advantage of. And this is the perfect time to do that because when, like I was telling my client yesterday, a man that I've heard these two things, don't quote me, but you can't quote me. But a person that can control their diet and their breathing can do anything. Now, I control my breathing pretty fairly, and I'm still working on that because I got a lot of different techniques to work on as far as the pranayama, all the different type of mudras and breathing techniques, and the Wim Hof method, which I'm gonna be tapping into. But as far as just the consistent flow of, I come into conscious breathing every day because I start my morning with meditation, with my breathing, just a consistent and constant flow of in and out. And my night, when you control your night and your morning, you can somewhat control your day. I heard Ed Milet say that, and I'm gonna tag the video of that below. That's a VYBO video. I love those videos. But also controlling your eating. That a lot of what you eat has to deal with what you got going on in your brain, heart, stomach, and your functionality of everything. If you eating shit food, don't expect great results. That's just basic math. But that's another story. We're gonna get on the video about eating again, and I'm gonna have more videos cooking because it's needed. But as far as meditation and breathing, being conscious of your breathing is very important because, all right, like I told my client yesterday, the difference between prayer and meditation is this. Prayer is when we talking to God, asking questions, needing answers, giving thanks, which we should do more than anything. Things of that nature for ourselves, for others, and for the global and connected whole of all. Meditation is when we let God talk. Now, a lot of time we don't letting God talk because we get stuff that we don't want to hear, but what's the point of asking if you're not going to receive the message? So what I tell people is, okay, you pray, which is great, and before you meditate, in your meditation sessions, you're supposed to pray anyway. Give a slight prayer or just give your intention of what it is that you want God, universe, Allah, whatever you call it, to bless you with or to give you awareness of. And as you come out of your prayer, that's when you become silent and become more calm and trying to seek that answer. Now, a few ways that I see myself calming down or trying to calm my mind and try to get it uh, to a single focused position or thought. I I give an analogy of throwing pebbles in the pond. If say there are 1,000 pebbles and you throw them all in the water, if you throw in all these different rocks in the water, that's going to be different vibrations, aka different distractions, different situations that is not on the situation that you are trying to focus on. So if you have these different rocks and you have yourself sitting on a square plank format on a river, and somebody behind you is throwing them, it's not you. I would say controlling your breath and controlling your thoughts into focusing on what it is that you're looking at is having that person as you calm down your breathing and you calm down your thoughts. As in, if you say, all right, for example, if you trying to focus on getting closer to God, and that's your focus. All right, so your eyes closed, you breathe and you focus and you doing that. But then thought of an ex comes up, or a thought of somebody that cut you off when you were in traffic yesterday comes up. Those things, those may be distractions, yes, but a lot of times it's not bad to let them be there. All right, so there are different ways of meditation, and I'm gonna help in some of these. So with these two things like this, you can immediately erase them, but you know they're gonna come back eventually. So the idea is to have that situation be there, let it not be attached to the situation, but see it for what it is or what it was, and just let it gently dwindle and float away. And as those things gently and float away from your square as you're sitting on the river or in the lake or whatever, the person that's throwing the rocks, they wind up slowing down on throwing the rocks until you can have maybe just one pebble thrown in the rock every now and then. So with that, as you control your focus on your thoughts, as you breathe better through the nose, out the mouth, or out the nose, it doesn't matter which. I give a connection of mind-body connection. So yoga is union in Sanskrit. With that, that means the union between mind and body. But like I gave my client an analogy yesterday, it can be also an analogy of mind and God, or universe, or source. Okay, so God gave man breath, and when God gave man breath, he had life. If your breathing ain't all the way right, you can't give life into everything that you're doing properly, whether it's a relationship that you're in, whether it's the work that you do, whether it's anything that's out here, because a million things are out here to do in this world for right now, because it's a weird time in this crazy stuff that we got going on. But that's another video for another sooner day. Anyway, what's I going with that? But with the breath, as you inhale, you're coming up. All this breath and energy is coming upward into the head. For as above, so below. So as the air is going up, also up the spine and up the chakra system, which we're going to get into that later, come down as you exhale. Now, the more clear that your mind is, the clearer that your connection and your breath is, and your eating and all your habits and everything, and as your morals become more clear with what it is that you're trying to do in your life, and you're not hurting yourself, you're not hurting anyone, but you're actually adding value to yourself, your peers, the people that you work with, and the whole connected union of what God is. That's when the real mind-body connection comes in play. So breath of God. What they say is everything starts with a thought. Everything is above and so below. God giveth the breath to man to have the thought to do things right. Exhaling out. You're going to have better results in everything that you do, and regardless of what it is. This calms down stress, anxiety, helps with healing your breathing. Now, I still smoke reefer, not none of that bullshit. And when I say reefer, I'm not talking about what your uncle and your auntie used to smoke and shit, you know what I'm saying? We on that. Yeah. But anyway, I used to smoke blunts every day, sometimes 2 times a day. Blunts. I had a slight little wheezing problem. So with that, I went back to papers and I noticed a difference, but I also became better in what I was doing as far as my yoga practice since I was on my, I switched probably midway through, switched back to papers midway through my certification. But I noticed a difference because I was getting better in my breathing and my movements, and I made a switch on what I was using as far as a wrap to roll my I want to say necessities, my extracurricular activities in. I noticed a difference and I control my breathing. I don't wheeze as much. I don't even wheeze no more because I practice even better now. My alignment is better, which gives better flow into the joints and muscles and everything that is within me. Everything happening for a reason. So you have to, in your meditation with these basics, it's all about flow. So I will always tell people just, if you can for 5 minutes, and I'm going to give a list of these binaural beats that I'm listening to. I listen to these going to sleep. They help with helping wake up the latent DNA in our body. They call it junk DNA. And it also just gives just a positive vibe just to sleep in, or just to chill and meditate in. And it takes your mind away from what it is. But simply just sitting up straight in your chair, back straight, chin up, not all the way up, but just even. Deep breaths through the nose, out the nose. Another good thing to remember to start in your meditation journey is to go back to a mantra that you want to give yourself. Now, some people think that mantras are always Om and those different Vam, Ram, and different types of noises or sounds for the chakra system, which is true. But you can also have a mental mantra for yourself that can be something like, I am this person, or I am, well, I'm not going to tell mine because mine is just special to me, but I'll just make one up. So, I am David, son of the Most High. So it'll be in my inhale, as I'm getting distracted, I'll come back to that point of focus and I'll be like, hold on. In my head, I'll be, I am David, son of the Most High. I am David, son of the Most High. And repetitively doing this every single day, because it ain't just about I'm gonna meditate tomorrow and skip 2 days, because that don't mean nothing. You have to do things consistently over a period amount of time so you can see changes, and the things that used to be something that you had to consciously do, it'll turn into an unconscious habit that's gonna build into a better rapport of everything that you do, and you'll be able to see the things that you want to see out here in a better view and scope as you become more aware of yourself and aware of the things around you. Because your breathing will really and truly make everything. Your breathing is so key and important, y'all. I really want to get that over. So I'm gonna get into ways of help breathing better outside of, with the food and outside of the food. But I'm gonna do the outside first because I know food is still a hindrance for some people. But it's okay and it's cool. Everybody grow. Everybody gotta learn. But control of your breath. You control your mind, you control your breathing, and you control your food. You control damn near anything, everything that's in and around you. But it's always about inside. So, like I said, inhale, exhale, and just look for a clean flow through the nose, out the nose, or out the mouth, depending on how you start. I'm gonna have sessions with these as well, but I want to get basics first before I do any little sessions online, especially. But make sure that your breathing is clear and through, and know and remember that distraction gonna come a little like, why am I thinking about this right now? Don't think of it like that. Think of it as, oh, there's that. You don't have to attach to that. When you attach yourself to an emotion or to an event, you wind up being a part of that situation. That's the point of meditation. The point of meditation is to be an observer, to observe everything that is going on, so that you can choose, deliberately choose, and consciously choose, this is the reality I want to live in and not that, or this is what I want to see, not that. That's cool that I see that, but I'm not with that. Let's go to somewhere else. That's how it is. Now, it's harder to do in the beginning, but as time go on, like I said, as you do things consciously over an amount of time consistently, it'll become an unconscious habit, and then the harder things, the things that used to pop up won't pop up as much. So, like I said, prayer and meditation on one hand, I would say let God do more talking. Meditate more than you do pray. But at the same time, you gotta pray while you every day and every moment. You know, I can get into a lot of that too, but we don't have time for that right now. This is just for the basics. So it's your boy Trill. I appreciate y'all and I love y'all. Show love to my boy, one of my favorite inspirations. More videos come, more YouTube videos to come as far as yoga is concerned, as far as stretching, cooking videos to come, meditation videos, and basics on tips and alignment of everything for your body, and posture, and all those things. So remember to stay higher, especially in these trying times. Keep your mind focused, keep your breath focused, and remember to pray, love on your people, stay with your people, stay clean, and keep it true, keep it peace, not apart, together. Love. What the pillow say, nigga?